Welcome back. Well, just days after winning the election, President-elect Donald Trump went to Washington meeting the president and Republican congressional leaders. So what is on the GOP's ambitious agenda for the new year? Well, joining us now is GOP Representative Sean Duffy from Wisconsin, the state that helped Mr. Trump break the blue wall. Good morning to you, sir, and congratulations on your win as well.
Good morning, Abby. Thank you. It was a great win for us in the 7th District of Wisconsin, but also for Wisconsin as a whole.
It was.
You're right. We broke the blue wall and helped Donald Trump win.
Making some history. All right. So a new chapter for Washington. You have a Republican in the White House. You're going to have a Republican-controlled Senate and Congress. A lot of work to be done, sir. Where do you begin?
Well, first, I think you have to look at Donald Trump's promises in conjunction with the work that we've done in the House. And we're going to work on fixing health care. Obamacare hasn't worked for families across America. We have to actually make sure that program works. We have to secure our border. We need tax reform, Abby, so we can put more money back in the hands of our families and our small businesses. But we have this set of ideas that over the last 8 years, Obama has consolidated power in Washington and with Washington bureaucrats. We want to disseminate power back to states and communities and families because we think they better know how to run their lives in their communities. And so I think it's going to be a big agenda that I think will kickstart the economy and help our middle-class families out. All
right, well, let's talk about Obamacare because that is a big one. And a lot of people made their vote based on Obamacare and the fact that Mr. Trump was so honest about wanting to repeal that law. He's still saying he wants to, but there is this period of time that a lot of people are talking about where you do replace it and people might be left without any insurance. That's not a place you want to be. I know you guys have looked into this well before now. What do you do with that part of it?
So we have a plan in the House to repeal and replace Obamacare, but we have to work with Mr. Trump to make sure he's on the same page. But your viewers have to understand it's easy now to repeal Obamacare. The problem is to pass a new bill because we have control of the House and the Senate, but Senate rules mean that you need 60 votes to pass a bill, which means you'll need roughly 8 Democrat senators to join us to get a new health care package through the Senate and to the President's desk. So it's going to be a little bit challenging. We're going to need Democrats to buy into this new reform. But I think Democrats across the country understand that the Affordable Care Act is unaffordable. It's not working for people. But again, what we want to do is when you have mandates, so I have 8 kids, I might buy maternity coverage for my wife and my family. We might have more kids. But there's a lot of people outside their childbearing years that are having to buy maternity coverage that drives up the cost of their insurance premiums. Some of this stuff just doesn't make sense, and it's costing our families so much more. Well,
you know, obviously there is a Republican-controlled Congress now, but not everyone agrees, as you know. When you talk about border security, when you talk about tax reform, you talk about Obamacare, and now it's going to be up to Mr. Trump to figure out how to make these deals, how to negotiate. You understand how it all works there. What advice do you have for him to be successful, especially in the first 100 days in office?
Well, I think the unity that you saw with Mr. Trump and Mr. Ryan a couple days ago, that's a great start. But he has to tap into Mike Pence, who has a great relationship with the House. He also has to look to Reince Priebus, who's also a really good friend of Paul Ryan's. And it's those kind of relationships that I think help us come together as Republicans to get the best set of ideas to move forward that everyone can buy into. And again, you're going to have to bring in Democrats into this process. Your viewers might not want to hear that, but we're going to need their help.
No, you absolutely do. So what about this wall? Because not everyone is on board with building a wall